Good evening. This is Cellar Conversations, and I'm Gregory Knight, your host. I didn't have a topic specifically in mind for tonight, and as I have been fumbling around trying to figure out one, it came to me. I'm going to be discussing about living with MS. I have had a terrible time tonight trying to even put words together. This is evening here, and fatigue for me is at a very high level. This makes it very difficult for me to do things. People understand what exhaustion is. Very few people actually understand what true fatigue is. It is something I live with. It's like you wake up every morning and you feel like you've run a marathon. And it just goes downhill from that point on. I'm at the end of the day. I am struggling. It is not easy. Not that I'm complaining. This is a fact of life. This is what sometimes people have to live with, difficulties. And we have to get through each and every day. It isn't that we don't want pity, we don't want sympathy, but we would like to have people understand a little bit of what we go through. And the fact is that we don't give up. I know too many people that they talk about this problem and that problem, and to me these are minor things. I have a chronic illness, which, let's be honest folks, one of the things that I have to look forward to, and I have to do this every day of my life, is the day when the MS gets me to a point I can't take care of myself once again. Been there once, and by the way, all these cats that are coming around, I've warned you before that I do have cats, and they love me. In spite of the fact is that I do have MS. It isn't easy, but we are defined by the obstacles life places in front of us. If I gave up, what would that say about me? What would that say about the people that are around me? That they would accept that they would accept that from me. It doesn't say much about anybody at that point. It's hard. There are limitations I put on myself. There are limitations I put on my way of life because of this. I can't do the same things I used to do. I mean, aside from the fact is, hey, I'm getting older, folks. You know that. You can tell that by looking at me. But it's difficult, and it's harder than most people. I wouldn't want anybody to go through this. I wouldn't want anybody, and I know people that are actually worse off than I am. My brother died because of complications brought on by MS. That's how severe it can be. And that was after spending the last 10 years of his life being bedridden, which really sucked. And, we seem to ignore the fact that, we hear a little bit about people with MS. We hear a little bit about people with chronic illnesses. It isn't just MS, it's actually a lot of them. And they get put on the back burner. Everybody they have fundraisers, they have months for, and I think cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness is a great thing. But I also know it's like I wish people would put half the effort into all these crippling chronic illnesses that they do breast cancer. It's like, I'm sorry, we're not popular. We're not the mainstream thing to give to. People don't care about things like this. And I understand a lot of people know somebody or have a family member who have had breast cancer. I understand that, and so therefore it makes it more personal to them. But, you know, honestly, folks, we're people too. We live in the shadows is because we go to, take for instance, I go shopping. I use my handicap sticker, my handicap thing in the window. Why do I use that? Because it's too damn tiring to go from way back in the parking lot to the store. And yet everybody gives you these dirty looks and they'll tell you, oh, you look so good, and all this other stuff. We get condemned because people don't understand. I want people to understand what it's like. I mean, don't judge a book by its cover. Just because you can't see the illness doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We don't have, you know, we're not popular like some of the others are, and there's plenty of other people that, you know, they have all sorts of different things. I mean, yeah, and you don't hear enough about some of the less glamorous illnesses. MS is not glamorous, folks. It's really sad to watch somebody who is deteriorating before your eyes. And we're not talking a short-term deterioration. We're talking a long-term deterioration. I know my mother passed from cancer, and I watched her die, and it's sad. I mean, I watched her basically the last year of her life where she just became a shell of her former self. And yet my mother and I were talking about this, and we were discussing it, and she felt it was easier on her to do it that way than what my brother and I have to live with, about the slow deterioration of and what it's going to do to us. I have to plan on having my house set up for a disabled person. I have to put in extra rails at places. I have to plan on having electric chairs so I can come down into my basement. You know, eventually I will have to do these. These are constant reminders of what my future is going to be like. You know, and I'm sure the rest of you think about your retirement years and things like that. Wow, I'll be able to get away and enjoy my life. Many of us can't. We are so limited. My children live in other states. It is too difficult physically for me to make that trip to see either one of my children. That's my retirement. You know, it isn't these golden years that you can travel around and do whatever you want. Now, granted, I know I'm getting low on time here, and I'm trying to set these Cellar Conversations to be about 10 minutes and thereabouts. So, this isn't a complaint. And sometimes it does come across as such. But, you know, I'm trying to figure out a good way to explain to everybody what living with a chronic illness, be it MS or some other thing. And since I can only relate to the MS one, that's what I try to express to everybody here. So it's, you know, and sometimes they come across as complaints, and they're not. It's my life. I am very happy with who I am and my life. I have a better life than, I'm sorry, my life is better in many, many ways than a lot of other people I know. Mine's the oxymoron life. It sucks and it's great at the same time. So, you know, how do you want to look at it? What part do you want to dwell upon? I'm talking about the MS tonight because it has affected even this conversation. It's made me hesitant. It affects my speech, and it affects my cognitive abilities when I'm this fatigued. Sometimes I don't make as much sense as I do when I'm fresher. I mean, I know a lot of you people can understand that, but, you know, this was a good time to break the ice on the MS. I mean, because there's going to be quite a few talks about it, you know, because it is an important issue to me. But this is the first time, and it's not going to be every time I talk, so don't worry about being beat over the head with this, because you know we do have other things that we're going to be discussing. And next time, and since I already know what I'm going to be discussing next time, I'm going to inform you right now. Be ready. We're going to be discussing gay rights. That's our next installment. So, actually, until that point, and until I talk to you again, I hope everybody is feeling well, has a good time, enjoys life, give their loved ones a kiss, and until later, peace and be well. Thank you.